Good morning, guys. Welcome to day 30 of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. Firstly, I want to apologise if I'm a bit sniffly today. My hay fever is in overdrive this morning, and I'm still waiting for that Telfast to kick in. So, yeah, really annoying. I've been sneezing all morning, so I'm hoping I can do a quick vlog without sneezing. That's my goal. It's my goal. So we'll see how we go. Not liking my chances though. So yesterday, as you would have seen yesterday's video, was a really quick one. I managed to do at least an hour and a half's worth of work on the comic, but I actually ran out of time to actually do the vlog portion of it because I was just so tired. The day went really quickly. I spent a lot of it with the family. Then we had a friend of ours. It was their 2-year-old daughter's birthday, which was absolutely fantastic. By the time we got home, it was about 4:30, and we were just pooped. I ended up falling asleep on the couch for a little bit. Definitely am really feeling a lot more tired now. As a father, definitely getting more broken sleep, waking up several times in the night, just making it a little bit harder, but struggling through, not complaining, just sort of talking about it. So there we go. Managed to get something up this morning just as a quick snippet to say, hey, I did it. And there you go. That sort of explains yesterday's video and why it wasn't sort of to the quality of these ones. As for today, my 30 minutes is done and dusted. I did lose a good hour doing that video this morning, but I still managed to squeeze in just half an hour, like exactly half an hour on the comic. I finished a panel and got about halfway through another panel. Definitely that first panel in the first page is far more detailed than most of the rest of the comic, just because it's really setting up the scene, which I've already spoken about, but because I've got a lot more sort of close-up panels and not as heavy background work in most of it, I think I should fly through a little bit better. I have, however, been reading some comics lately, especially with me working on the new comic. I want to get an idea of what people are doing and how people format their comics and whatnot. And there's one particular book that my friend Jeffrey, who you know from the Art Bastards, gave to me, called Creature Tech, which I've never heard of before. I've never heard of the artist or anything. But he said he had me in mind when he, gave it to me, and it's actually a really fantastic book. And the art in it is as beautifully detailed as it is super simplistic as well. And even in the backgrounds, they're just so super simple, just enough lines to give the idea of what's happening in the book and where the character is. Really thick blacks for the characters, done with a brush marker by the looks of it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love the story. I love the artwork, and it's really making me sort of think again how I want to approach Monkey Junk. Although I'm really liking where I am now with my really tight line work, because I think that will be more advanced. I think it'll look better for Monkey Junk when it's done, but at the same time, because I want to do as much work as I possibly can each week to ensure that I get a page a week done, therein lies a challenge, because if I'm going so detailed like I am currently with a 6-pager, it could mean I'm working a lot longer, which isn't a good thing. And I was thinking about it yesterday too. Even like the first page has like 9 panels, so I'm either setting myself up for too much work to begin with, and I maybe just need to spread things out a bit more. So I need to sort of plan that, but I'm still writing the book, still playing with ideas, so whatever's there isn't set in stone anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, this book's definitely made me sort of rethink my approach on how heavy in detail I'm going to be, because some pages are just purely characters just talking. There's no backgrounds, it's just the characters talking, but they're still super effective and still really portray the character and what they're trying to say and their emotions. So yeah, definitely a lot of thinking to do on that. Definitely have a lot of time to do that thinking until I finish this anthology book anyway. Alright, I'm on my way home. Crazy day at work, it's been absolutely busy. My legs are just so sore, I can't wait to just go home, sit down. Anyway, doesn't matter. I just want to talk to you guys about Monkey Junk for a little bit, because I'm don't really remember how much I've actually told you guys about this Monkey Junk project, although I know I've spoken about it a lot in most recent episodes, especially since I started writing it. It's been a very prominent thing that I've been working on. So ever since the other week when I said, hey, should I start the script on the other thing, and everyone said, no, don't do it, Chris. And I did it, and now I just keep writing, and I keep writing, and I've been sending pictures, sending links to a few close friends and saying, hey, what do you think? Give us, an idea of what you think of the story so far. And I've gotten some really positive feedback. So I've been thinking a lot more about it. The more and more I write, the more and more new ideas come to, and the more and more I really just can't wait to get started into it. And it's been a real great drive to get this anthology comic done so I can really get started on it. Now, thinking realistically, it's probably going to take another month between the anthology comic and this comic coming out. Now, I wanted to talk about what my plans are for it, just to sort of get them in the air, and I also want to get your opinions and see what you guys think of the ideas that I have in mind. So, Monkey Junk is going to be a weekly webcomic. It's going to come out every Monday. That's a tentative date. I'm doing a bit of research at the moment to actually see what days are better to release webcomics on. Some people would say like a Friday or a Saturday are better. Some people say as long as it's at lunchtime would be better. But that's really hard to say because my audience is worldwide, so I can't really just put it up on lunchtime today when it's going to be like bedtime for the Netherlands or something, you know. So I'm just trying to think of like a good day. If I publish it on a Monday, it's a Sunday for my US friends, so that could be advantageous. So I feel like no matter what day I post it, it's not really going to matter. So I'm thinking I'll probably stick with Monday, but that might change just depending on my timeline. I feel like Monday is a good day to choose because it gives me Monday all the way through Sunday to get a page done, and then Monday it comes out, and then I start a new page. That's sort of the ideal scenario. Ideally, I would like to have a buffer, so when I am working on a page, I'm actually working 5 or 6 pages ahead of myself, purely because if I get stuck in a rut or something goes wrong and I get sick and I can't do a page, I'm still ahead of myself and I won't miss a week. I also will have things like buffer images, so I can put pinups 1 week. The other thing I'm trying to think of is, as much as I want to do 2 or 3 pages a week, I'm going to be smart and just do 1 page a week, but I do want to post more content, and I will be using my Patreon as a real tool for this, because my Patreons will be getting not only access to the comic 1 month earlier than everyone else, but they will also be getting access to behind the scenes. They'll get to see all the thumbnails, they'll get to see character images, they'll get to download the high resolution versions of the pages, as well as all the Photoshop files for all the pinups that I'll be doing. It's going to be a real hub for Monkey Junk, and I hope that's cool with all my current patrons. Most of them really seem to be digging all the stuff I'm doing for the anthology, so if they're digging that, then they're definitely going to dig all the Monkey Junk stuff. So that's sort of my plan. I will be launching it on Webtoons. I did consider Tapastic as a good platform, but I do also like the Webtoons platform as well. I probably could do both platforms if I wanted to, but I feel like sticking to just the one is a smart move, as well as the Patreon. And also, Webtoons are affiliated with Patreon, so anyone who's reading my comic and gets into it and wants to see more will have an easier time getting access to my Patreon through the Webtoons website. The other thing I'm thinking of in regards to Monkey Junk is, even though this is going to be a weekly webcomic and I will be putting it into print, I'm not naive in thinking that doing webcomics or just doing comics in general is a way to make money. I've done comics long enough to know that there's no real income from doing comics unless you really strike it big. So my general idea at this moment is to, 1, create hype. I want people to get excited about Monkey Junk, not only through the YouTube videos, but also via Facebook and other social medias. Before Monkey Junk comes out, I will be contacting blogs and video review sites, maybe, any comic style news website, and just bloggers, things like that, with early access to the comic to say, hey, I'm launching this soon, would you guys please check it out, do a review on it. I'd really like to send some traffic towards the Webtoons site when it launches. and see what kind of reaction I get, and actually see if I do get some responses from some of these social media sites that could essentially, give me much better traffic. I also want to create a Facebook page for it, maybe an Instagram. I feel like Instagram is probably the best place to do it, and probably a Twitter as well, and just have all these social medias linked. The downside is it's going to be extra work, which I'm not looking forward to. But if it all works well, the whole grand scheme of all of this will mean that I will be branding Monkey Junk. It will become a marketable product. I will be intending to at least selling t-shirts, selling merchandise. So I won't just be selling the books when they come out, but I'll be running most likely either a Spreadshirt website or probably a Redbubble, more realistically, because Redbubble allows me to do other things like stickers and such. But I would also like to be able to do as many things as I can by hand. So I'll be setting up an online store, a big cartel, where I'll be doing stickers, I'll be doing bookmarks, prints, and this way and I'll also be doing the Patreon. So anyone who's a Patreon, I'll also be having a physical pledge option where you will be getting a package every month which will have lots of different things to do with Monkey Junk, whether it's stickers, whether it's postcards, whether it's like little cardboard cutout 3D characters that you can make, lots of cool things like that. But then if you want to purchase those things, you can do so in the store at an extra price. Doing things like this will hopefully bring in a passive income for me, allowing me to do the webcomic 100% of the time. If this happens, if this means that I can work on my comic 5 to 7 days a week, I say that because I would like to still take weekends off, because I want to spend it with my family. I want to spend quality time with my daughter and my wife, because they are super important to me, and yeah, especially allowing me to do the things that I want to do like this. 5 days seems very fair. It'll just be like a regular work week for me, but it will be completely revolving around Monkey Junk. Now, if it goes well, I would ideally like to be pulling in between $2,000 to $3,000 a month to allow me to survive comfortably, me and my family. Ideally, I'd like to make a little bit more than that, but it's going to take time, I understand that, but I have a plan in mind at the very beginning of this to grab as big of an audience as I can to begin with, and I have all the confidence in the world that this comic is going to be popular. I think that people are going to really enjoy it. I think that people are going to really enjoy the characters, and as the comic progresses, being a weekly webcomic, it means that people can have some input into the characters, what they would like to see. I really want to delve into some really deep issues with this, but keep it really light and funny at the same time. I want to really cover all bases. I want people to relate to the characters, even though one of them's a pig, for example. That shouldn't matter. Life values are just as important no matter what race or species you are. So anyway, I think I've tapped out on talking about this, but those are my thoughts at the moment with where I want to go for Monkey Junk. This isn't just a little webcomic that I want to do for fun. As much as I want to do it for fun, this is eventually, hopefully, going to become my brand and my income for a long time to come. Wish me luck. It's a big step. It's brave. Like, I'm scared to shit, but this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. I should mention, this is what I wanted to say at the beginning of this video, and I completely forgot because I just got sidetracked. This story I've been working on for over 5 years. I've actually drafted this story 3 or 4 times before. This is the most current draft, and this is the draft that will be getting published. I keep putting it off because I never feel confident enough that I would be able to execute the story to a point where I would be 100% happy, but I'm finally taking the dive. I feel like my art has reached that point where I need to just shut up, nut up, and get the book out. So that's me. This has been a super long video, so thank you guys who have all stuck it out and listened to me ramble all this time. I'm going to leave you alone. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave your comments on all and any thoughts that you have on this project, any links that you might be able to share, any suggestions, any advice, or if you just think I'm a mad maniac and you think I should just give up this stupid quest, I want to hear them down below. Chuck them in the comments and I will reply and we can converse about this, and I'll be back tomorrow to discuss this further. Goodbye.